Jason, I hear Cliff Kingsbury's comments not as a rebuke of anything that you said. I almost hear him co-signing what you said about Kyler Murray, because clearly a quarterback can change the protection at the line of scrimmage. I didn't hear him point the finger at the offensive lineman. I don't. How did you hear Cliff Kingsbury's comments?
Me and Cliff don't really see eye to eye, so we have a history. So that was very funny for me to see him smirking because I knew he wasn't going to say nothing but that. The bottom line is it's all he's protecting Kyler, which he has to do, which is understandable. I had an NFL O lineman on my show yesterday who clearly stated that he's covering up for Kyler. And the other issue is there is no such protection in the world that can block seven people with 5 O linemen. So it's all BS. And everyone's come out and tried to give their explanation. Bottom line is, unless you're in that room and we know the protection, it doesn't matter. We're all speculating. But the truth of the matter is the corner triggered, showed the pressure because of the strong safety comes down to 4 yards. We know the corner's coming. And there's clearly 7 guys on defense inside the box. We only have 5 protecting because they're in empty. They're in quads, which is another crazy thing to me. Kyler Murray is a right-handed quarterback, Jason. They're in a heavy formation left. So why are you in quads left with a right-handed midget at quarterback who can't see over the line, A, and now we're against his dominant throwing hand and he don't see the pressure in his face? All kind of badness is going on right there. And it's just why you got beat 40-something to 20, and that's why you haven't excelled over the last few years in the playoffs or even get there.
So I hear your comments today as a little bit of a critique of Kyler Murray, but you also it makes it sound like coaching put him in a bad spot there.
No doubt about it. I mean, we're putting the product on the field. So 3rd and 3, we're in empty protection, Jason. There's 5 guys to block. You know, you play the game. You know the game. You got 5 to block 7. You're in empty. You know there's pressure coming on a short yard down and distance in the NFL. They're bringing an exotic to you. And if you can't pick that up on 3rd and 3, knowing I got to get the ball out of my hand right now, there's a fundamental issue across the board. Head coach, who's also the offensive coordinator, and the quarterback. They are clearly not on the same page. Have you ever seen Peyton Manning or Tom Brady get hit like that in his face by a corner? Please explain. I'll wait. No, I haven't seen Russell Wilson get hit like that. Aaron Rodgers. I can go on and on and on. And it's not a black and white thing. People always want to bring that up and hate on me. I'm like, well, first of all, I've only coached one white quarterback in 20 years, A. B, having said that, they're clearly being coached at the college level, probably at the – let me just say this, Jason. NFL quarterback play is at an all-time low. It's the worst I've ever seen it from top to bottom as in totality, even though, let me clear myself up here, we are the most athletically gifted quarterbacks I've ever seen. Does not mean they're the best quarterback. We're not asking running backs to play the position. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Allen, Mahomes. They're very, very gifted, freak of natures. Like I would have loved to coach them in college. They're not great at the quarterback position. And that is the issue. And they're being coached up in college, and it's proving that it's showing. They're going fast. We're running fast tempo in the shotgun. We don't take underneath center snaps. We don't teach progression from pre-snap to post-snap. We're not teaching fronts and protections. And then they get to the NFL as this great athlete in college that we want to recruit because the best athletic quarterback in college wins you games. So you get to the NFL and we're throwing them to the wolves. Now they get to the NFL and struggle. Lamar Jackson is struggling. Kyler Murray is struggling. Justin Fields is struggling. And Coach, Lamar Jackson won an MVP. We all know the MVP in the NFL is a popularity contest. Whether you want to
come on now, hold for 1 second. because I agree with 90% of what you're saying. I agree with 90, but when Lamar Jackson puts up 35, 36 TD passes, tacks on another 10 to 15 running touchdowns, how can you deny the man the MVP? His team won 12, 13, 14 games that year. How are you going to deny him the MVP?
Well, this is the thing. He did that one time. How many touchdowns did he throw last? How many touchdowns did he throw last year? See, that's the thing. He has been figured out. The NFL will figure you out. Mahomes, who everyone's anointing after year 3 as the best thing since sliced bread, he got figured out last year, quiet as kept, contrary to belief, and he struggled down the stretch. And they have probably the best roster in football for 2 of the 3 years he's been there, and he has 1 Super Bowl to show for. And you're calling him the GOAT. Like, let's pump our brakes and calm down and wait for him to build his resume. Let's get his resume after 10 years and let's see how good he is. Because last time I checked, Brady has 7 Super Bowl wins, and Mahomes has 2 playoff losses, both to a 44-year-old man named Tom Brady. Once in New England, once in the Super Bowl. And you're saying he's the best? You can't even beat the best. How are you the best? So we got to pump our brakes on all this GOAT talk with these guys until they build their resume and prove to us that their resume is worthy of it. I think Mahomes is a freak. I think he's great. I think he could be the best. But is he right now? No. And he's a gimmicky guy. He wants to do gimmicky things. And until you understand climbing the pocket, throwing the ball on time to wide open receivers, you're not going to ever be considered the best. Show me a quarterback that runs around that's won a Super Bowl. I'll wait. Don't tell me Steve Young either. Steve Young threw 5 touchdowns the year he won the Super Bowl. And when he stopped running around is when he won the Super Bowl. And Doug Williams, we want to go with this whole black and white thing. Doug Williams didn't run for more than 20 yards in that Super Bowl game, and he threw from the pocket. And people don't understand. If you ask any NFL head coach, as much as you run around in the pocket, there is a wide receiver wide open waiting for the ball. And you miss him. And I break down Lamar Jackson all the time. I think Lamar Jackson's a great human being. I know a buddy that coached him and recruited him in Louisville. I know his character's high, and I agree he deserves the bag. Because if Watson got the bag and this good character cat that won an MVP don't get the bag, I do think it's a little bit unfair. But again, the Browns set the marketplace at that all-time high, and I just don't think it'll ever be equated. And I think Lamar is making a mistake by not hiring an agent. And that's a whole nother ballgame. But it is what it is. I agree with how great he is as far as an athlete. I don't think he's a very good quarterback.
Jason, I got to say this. I think you found your sweet spot. I think you found your calling. And it's so necessary right now because I'm telling I don't have to agree with everything you're saying, but I actually believe you believe what you're saying. And that's what I don't get in NFL commentary. You've already addressed it. I was about to go there, but why are you so fearless? You coached the position, you played the position, but I also think where you grew up and who your friends have been your whole life have made you like, you can't call me racist. My resume, my life resume, not just my coaching resume, shields me from that. And so it sounds like you have the freedom just to say whatever you want about any of these quarterbacks, and everybody else is just playing a political game.
Oh, no doubt. And I've never been tested because everyone knows, and real recognizes real. So these guys that want to come out, anyone wants to come out after me about that is good luck. I mean, every black brother I've ever grew up with or knows me, or even NFL, I got 26 in the league right now. I just had my 10th first rounder drafted, Jermaine Johnson. They're going to come and say, shut up, you know nothing. And the bottom line is they're never going to get away with trying to do that. They tried to do that last year on Pat McAfee's show on me. Because I called Tomlin out, and that didn't last very long either because they all told Pat, man, this guy is legit. And even Tomlin's O-line coach had to call Pat and tell him, like, this is JV. I grew up with him. So this is the thing about it. It ain't a black and white thing. It is a result thing. And I don't care what color you are, red, white, blue, black. I don't care if you're right, left, red, blue, politically. I don't care. I'm an independent thinker. I tell the truth. And if you disagree with me, Jason, I believe that that is a good thing. It creates great conversation. And I think that these people nowadays in the world don't get that. They don't understand that this is great conversation. This is real talk banter. That doesn't mean I have to agree with you and then have to hate you because you disagree with me. That is where we're at in society. That's why we're so dang soft. And that's why we have so many issues with black on black crime. We have all this other issues. We don't have any brothers coming out and saying, like, let me ask you this, Jason. Yesterday, I don't know if you know about this, in San Diego, California, we had a hazing incident. Some guys put a broom up a kid, anal rectum, and basically hazed him and raped him, basically. Why aren't the Chargers and the Rams coming out and saying to these young football players who did it, to an autistic kid on top of that, hey, man, this ain't the business. We're not doing this. You are football players. You are being looked at from other normal human beings, general population. We look at you. You have a platform. Where's the NFL players? Where's the NBA players? We don't have that, man. And it's crazy. Right here in Beverly Hills, we got young brothers running up on old black women and beating them and robbing them. I don't see LeBron. I don't see Cube, Snoop. I don't see anybody coming out saying, hey, man, what's going on? Where's Oprah? I haven't seen anybody come out, but I'm out there on the front line with these kids, and they know me, and I'm talking to them like, what the hell are you doing, man? This is a black-owned liquor store. Why the hell are you robbing it? Why are we throwing rocks through it? And they sit there and look at me, and I'm like, they actually listen to me, Jason. You know what the cool part is? They would listen to some older brothers too, but they're not doing it. They're not going out there and correcting it. And there's an old adage, Jason, you either coach it or you allow it, brother. And we're allowing it at an all-time high.
Jason, what all are you doing now? Where can people find you? This Kyler Murray deal put you back on my radar. What you're saying, I'm having what they call an eargasm right now. I just can't believe I got somebody on here talking like this from the sports world. Where can people find you? Where's your podcast? What are you doing? And are you out and back out in LA or?
Yeah, I'm back out here. Ever since I came on the show with you and Marcellus, I'm out here, and I was just with Marcellus last week at the Pump Brother deal. I was, I'm back out here, out in the IE, and I started a show a few years ago, and obviously I used that name that I trademarked that everyone knew me for, and I said, all right, we're so cancel culture soft, I had to change the name. So I changed the podcast to Coach JB Show now, and I got an IG model that's my co-host, Sarah Blake, and she's on the show with me. And then we do a lot of things. We go Monday through Friday, and I also do a wake-up show in the morning at 6 a.m. on the West Coast, and I basically just do mostly football talk, NFL particularly. And then we go 1 to 4 p.m. on the West Coast on the Coach JB Show live on YouTube. And then it's all on the audio side, so Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all that. So then I got my whiskey and my own cigar line. And the cigar is actually launched this Friday, and then the whiskey's been out now for going on 3 years, and it's real good whiskey. And so I got that going on, and plus, I do speaking engagements and clinic coaches online, virtually, and stuff like that. And anytime I get around some kids, I like to talk to them and mentor those kids up and talk to the babies, man, because that's the youth, and they're being led the wrong way. And bottom line is, we're just so soft. Culturally, it starts at the home front, and parents are just allowing so much to occur right now. And this is a learned trait like racism, Jason. These kids are learning how to do these hazing incidents and how to be this bully. And just like racism's learned and taught, the same thing's going on with this. And people that defend these kids blow my mind. And, it's just so much going on, Jason. I hear you guys talk all the time in your show, and I've been on Outkick and all these different people in shows too. And so it's refreshing to hear real talk and real people talk. And it's unfortunate that the minority, in my opinion, are the majority when it comes to the minority is the majority when it comes to speaking out. And the majority actually still believe the right thing. But we're in the minority as far as speaking out. And that's what's unfortunate. If the majority would speak up, we'd probably get rid of this cancel culture BS. But the minority cancel culture people are the ones that are the majority voice, which is unbelievable. So,
JB, I got to say, we're going to be wearing your phone line out. And so you'll probably get tired of me calling and ask you to come on. But I'm going to circle back because I got to hear more of this. Virtually every take you've given has been piping hot. And I man, someone willing to talk the truth about NFL quarterbacks. I had John Gruden. I'm sorry, not John Gruden. Was it John Gruden? No, I saw John Gruden on YouTube, and he talked about. He did an interview with the Arkansas Razorback Touchdown Club, and he talked about how simplistic football has become, and that everybody's running the same offense, and everything's been dumbed down to a point because you don't have time to coach people. They've limited practice time, the NFLPA, and virtually no one is talking about this. That they've actually dumbed the thing down to a point that virtually anybody can play quarterback. I've said this all the time. I was like, we want to compare these guys today to the guys in the 60s and 70s that were calling their own plays. These guys are looking over to the sidelines and to know what their one read is that they can make. And we're comparing them to Bart Starr and Roger Staubach. It's a joke to me. We've simplified the game incredibly.
Hey, I had Bernard Pollard on my show. I had Brian Urlacher. I've had a few people, John Daly. I've had all these guys on my show. We just talked about that. Urlacher and Bernard Pollard, who won a Super Bowl with the Ravens, who called out Lamar. He's exactly on my playing field. He's listened to me and he's like, JV, I had to get on your show, man, because everything you're saying is so true. And I go, what other quarterback do you know, Jason, that comes to the line of scrimmage and whatever is in and put it into his helmet earpiece from the coach, they run no matter what. And I have NFL film that I'm allowed to show. I have the rights. So I show it on my show all the time. And I have his film from his MVP year. He is so bad. And as regarding at the NFL level, he is so bad to watch, play the position. Like he literally will run 45 yards in total and gain 1 yard and then have to come back to the huddle and go no huddle. And you're asking this, how long do you think that is sustainable? That's why he's not getting the bag. He's not going to get paid because you can't run this offense in 10 years that you're running right now in Baltimore. You can't do it. Tom Brady can do it till he's 50. You can't do this offense that he's running till you're 50. He's going to be dead in 2 years doing this. So we're going to pay him $290 million, and we're thinking he's going to last 5 more seasons? No. Jason, Josh Allen is this far away from having a catastrophic injury in his career. Knock on wood. I love watching the kid, but he has to realize now, this is not only about my bag, it's about my team in this organization and my brothers on this roster that I need to be alive and well and playing this position every single game for us to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, stiff-arming dudes, all this stuff. You know the NFL, not for long. That's what it stands for. I saw 2 particular incidences in the Ram game last Thursday. He was horse-collared once. He's that far. If he don't let go of the horse collar, he snaps his femur. Jason, he's done. And another incident, he got hit in the knee on out of bounds and almost blows his knee out. And Josh Allen is really, really close to ending being done. And the Buffalo Bills go right downhill, right? So that's what people don't understand. It's a bigger picture. And these kids, I can't believe in the NFL, they're not being told this. They're not being coached up. Again, Jason, coaching's overrated. Players win games, coaches lose them. And people think it's all about the coach. Coaching is so overrated, it's unbelievable. I wish people would really know the real. But everyone on Twitter and TikTok know everything, not the coach.
Jason, JB, thank you so much. I can't wait. I'm going to circle back to you next week. We got a whole NFL slate of games on Sunday. Thank you so much for your time. Continued success and good luck. I instruct everybody in my audience, if this guy's talking this way about football, you got to hunt up his podcast. You got to hunt him up on YouTube. these guys on ESPN, on Fox, they're a waste of your time. They're not telling you the truth. This guy is. Thank you so much. Jason, we'll circle back to you, and hopefully you'll say yes when we do circle back to you. Go to youtube.com/Jason Whitlock, hit notifications, hit subscribe. Primetime Alex Stein.